Hello boys and girls, this is a quick video on offering you probably like the best tip I could offer people to overcome procrastination. On the other video blog I was talking about how procrastination can be related to an addiction to perfectionism, which can come about through certain parenting styles that maybe aren't that beneficial to us, that don't help us, and that there's a neurotic element to it. When I actually went back and reviewed the material and reviewed everything on the subject, I did a podcast about it that you can download from this link. I've started up a Spartan Life Coach podcast. I realised that actually in many cases it's not down to something neurotic, that often what it can be down to is, for want of a better term, cowardice. And I'm talking about a certain type of cowardice here. I'm talking about a cowardice that means that we are flinching from, fleeing from, and running from two types of pain that are in the same sort of cluster for discomfort and psychological pain. One is that procrastination can be because we are seeking to avoid failure, our own perceived failure, or an actual failure, which then leads to the question of what is failure. I remember listening to an old Anthony Robbins tape, revealing my age now, an old Anthony Robbins tape in which he spoke about failure, and he said that as far as he's concerned in his belief system, he doesn't consider that he can fail himself unless he gives up. So over a long enough timeline, he'll always get some kind of a result, and any kind of a result to him he considers to be success, and failure can only be at the point where you give up. So there's an unwillingness to quote unquote fail that represents a kind of cowardice, and perhaps what is required is that we reframe this notion of failure, that perhaps we only fail when we give up, and as long as you keep going and you allow it to take place over a long enough timeline and be patient. Now, that's difficult in today's society where you can just download an app and it does it for you, and if it doesn't download inside of 25 seconds then we throw a fucking hissy fit over it. And the second thing that a lot of us are seeking to avoid is just discomfort. Just discomfort, and it's for its own sake. We've slipped into a comfort zone. We're now addicted to feeling comfortable, and we expect, totally unreasonably, hysterically, irrationally expect to feel comfortable 24/7, 365 days a year. And if we do not, we think it's time to pop a pill. We think there's something wrong, and that thing that is wrong needs to be fixed immediately, when discomfort should just be simply accepted as a part of life. There will be discomfort, that much is guaranteed. There will even be pain, that much is guaranteed. Some people would suggest that if you want to be successful at anything, in any field of endeavour, that you should expect a degree of discomfort, and you should also expect a degree of pain. Whether it's a business enterprise, whether it's getting your life together, whether it's somebody on the other videos asked me about going to the gym, and they said, I just think about going to the gym and then I just never go because I always imagine that the gym is going to be pointless. Would you relate this to an unconscious block or a fear of success? And I said, well, it's an unconscious block against discomfort. You don't want to go to the gym and sweat, because you will sweat. Like, exercise causes this hideous symptom known as sweating, which is when moisture appears in the pores of the skin. You can also go red. One of the other dreadful symptoms of exercise is some people call it panting. Some people would call it hyperventilation, and your breathing goes a bit funny when you move around, like when you walk upstairs and shit. If you're prepared to experience zero discomfort in your life, you are trapped. If you're prepared to experience zero failure or any kind of negative feedback whatsoever, you are in an extremely weak position in your life. We need to be tough. One of the reasons why the Spartan Life Coach was called the Spartan Life Coach is because I wanted to remind people that there's no way of dealing with a mental issue without dealing with the physical issue as well. Meaning that we are biological entities. The consciousness is localized in a biological machine, and we shouldn't take one from the other. We shouldn't separate mind from body. The two things should be occurring at the same time. And also that what people need is a bit more bravery and a bit more willingness to experience pain. So it's not really about the ancient warrior culture called the Spartans so much as it is about the adjective as it is used in the English language, to be Spartan. And it's that's to remind me to stop talking too much. It's an adjective that through the years, it's not used that much anymore. It's very old-fashioned to say somebody lives a Spartan lifestyle or their attitude is quite Spartan. It can relate to simplicity, self-discipline, but also a willingness to accept pain and to continue soldiering on despite discomfort and despite pain. Sometimes when I'm talking to clients or I'm talking to people who, you know, want to set themselves up in business, or they want to get better at something, or they want to go to the gym, or they want to get more confident talking to boys or talking to girls, and I hear this, it's almost like a kind of moral cowardice. But what if they say no? What if the other person doesn't like me? And I'm looking at them going, so if something doesn't work for you perfectly first time with no turbulence and no bumps whatsoever, you're not going to do it? Oh, bless you. Is that how precious you are? If that's how precious you are and how precious you've allowed yourself to become, your life is going to suck. And you're not going to get anything done. You're going to be weak. You're going to be helpless. And you're going to be one of the worst things an adult human being can be, is unable to help yourself. You must acquire the skill of helping yourself. I can't say that loudly or plainly enough. You must develop the virtue of being able to help yourself, and that requires self-discipline. That requires determination. That requires something called impulse control. That requires an acceptance that yes, sometimes you will experience negative feedback. Oh no, I don't like that. Little bit of negative feedback. Some people call it failure. Well, let them call it failure if that's what they want to call it. It's only really failure at the point where you choose to give up and just throw in the towel. The other thing people refuse to accept is any kind of discomfort whatsoever. I want to go to the gym, but I don't want to sweat. I don't want to do that panting, ooh, that out of breath thing. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Can you show me the method that means that I get physically stronger and fitter and healthier without that? No, it doesn't exist. Can you show me the method of building a business that doesn't require hours, days, months of study and toil? No, because that doesn't exist either. Despite all the marketing hype and all the bullshit that we're fed on a daily basis through mass marketing, through advertising, through the shit that we talk to each other, there is no way around it. You just have to cowboy the fuck up and accept a little bit of pain. And when you do, and you do have that little bit of self-discipline, and you are willing to fail, which really is just another way of saying, you know, that you fear any kind of social humiliation because you've become incredibly hypersensitive and thin-skinned because your world is now too small. You've now got small world syndrome. When you are prepared to accept a little bit of failure, when you are prepared to accept a little bit of pain in the pursuit of an objective, you have a massive competitive advantage over other people. There isn't really, that's the essence of what I teach in terms of coaching people to move forward. There isn't much more to what I teach than that. The only thing I can do is formulate strategies and tactics that trickle down from that principle that I've just given you. So if you find yourself procrastinating, it might be time for you to harden the fuck up, grab the bull by the horns, take control, grit your teeth, accept a little bit of pain, accept a little bit of discomfort, accept the possibility of a tiny bit of failure and move forward and do it anyway. Okay, there's a new podcast out called the Spartan Life Coach Podcast. It's available from the link below. I've had loads of emails in the last month where people are saying, hey, can I buy you a drink? Can I send you some money? You've changed my life. You got me through my divorce. I nearly killed myself and I didn't because of your video, blah, 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 which is awesome. Glad to hear it. And people are asking if they can donate or send me money. There's now a page on the Spartan Life Coach site. If you feel like you want to, then go ahead. If you want to continue enjoying the videos and the podcast for free, then go ahead and do that too. I really don't mind. If you really want to help me, one way you can do it is to like the videos and share them through any form of social media that you have access to. That would be very cool of you as well. So not everybody can donate. People are, like a lot of people watching this channel, they just don't have money right now, which is fine. So if you just share the videos for me, that would be a big help. So as ever, I hope you enjoyed that video, and that it gave you a metaphysical kick in the ass. That's what it was designed for, and that it helped. That's all I really seek to do with these videos, is to help people. So thank you very much for your time and for your attention, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Cheers.